Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're ready for a good trading day. Good morning. So we got 3 stocks on today's watch list. Morning is gapping up, stock market's gapping up pretty well today. SPY's up. Chances are the Dow's going to be up. Chances are the NASDAQ will be up too. Good morning, Richie. Good morning, Pascal. Good morning, guys. So we'll wait a little bit here, a little bit longer before we get going. Let it populate a little bit here. But nonetheless, 3 stocks on my watch list. And I'll probably keep an eye on some more in the background. But for now, those are the ones. Oh, yeah, probably going to watch Roku as well today. Good morning. Good morning, guys. Yes, good morning. So, yeah, yesterday Netflix had a really good day. Yeah, it's primarily what I was focused on for the most part of the day. Good morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning, PRMW. Doesn't look bad. Good morning. All right, so let's get into it. Gonna hop into screen share here. All right, so first one here is Bank of America. We'll just kick it off here. So only reason I'm watching Bank of America is because they had an earnings report. Now, typically I would never trade Bank of America, but since they had their earnings report, it makes sense to actually watch them. But yeah, typically you never find me trading Bank of America. Only reason I'm trading them is really because the fact they had their earnings report. Now, the earnings report wasn't actually terrible. I believe they made out on their profits, but they missed on revenue. So they beat the estimates in regards to profit, but lost out in terms of revenue, which really isn't good in a sense because, well, that just means they're bringing in less money. But if their profits are up, that means they had, in theory, maybe less expenses. So the way you could look at that is, okay, so the company brings in less money, but somewhere along the lines, they were able to decrease expenses, which allowed them to actually increase the amount of money they took home after expenses, after taxes, all that kind of good stuff, right? So, how they view it, it's really kind of a hit or miss type situation because it'd be good if they raised revenue and beat on profits, but that's not the case. So we're seeing it pull back right now. And we had this consolidation back here. You can see right here we had consolidation on BAC from like 28.70 up to, I don't know, call it 29.30, right? So basically, this little dip area around 29 is, in fact, kind of a buyer's support area. You can see the volume of buyers stepped in right here on this nice push with BAC. So, I'm going to watch it. It's trailing down right now. If it continues to move in this fashion, I'll probably watch it for an early morning short, followed by a bounce or a long play down around 29. So if it starts going downward, I'll watch it for a short play down towards the $29 area and a bit below 29 for a bounce. And then that would be my game plan. Just by the way it's moving, I'd be surprised if it reverses and actually starts to trail back and break over 30. So right now, in my mind, sentiment down, watch for an early morning wash out short play, then follow for like a dip buy bounce around the $29 area. If it seems to break 29, your next levels are going to be around down the 28.70. Now just know that the $29 area, even the 29.12 area, is no surprise to possibly watch for a bounce. So, a bunch of people might get in around 29, and, market makers are going to see that. They're going to know that people are buying in that $29 area. So if they do, or if people do start buying in that area, don't be surprised if it shakes around a little bit even below 29. That's most likely just going to be some shaking of the tree going on, okay? So, again, watching BAC here short this morning, possible long play. There will be most likely a little pickup or a little slight bounce around 29.30. That's the pre-market low. There's usually always a little bit of a bounce around that area. If it trails to 29.30 pre-market, it'll probably bounce pre-market around there, create a small little, yeah, it actually could do that. So I don't have my drawing tools I normally have because we're still running our private meeting in another stream. So I'll draw this a little bit differently, but there could be, if it does this, you might be able to see this a little bit, but there could be a cup and handle pattern that forms like this pre-market. So if BAC did in fact come all the way down to this 29.30s, it would probably bounce off pre-market low, get a small bounce here, roll back over, and then it would create an actual inverse cup and handle pre-market that might play out when the market opens. But that's, again, just a theory if it did go down to pre-market lows. Okay. Next one on the list is Netflix. Boom. So Netflix had pretty good day yesterday. It basically did what we said, follow for an early morning short, then watch it long. So I ended up trading the bounce here. I didn't trade the bounce here. Actually, no, I did. I scalped a little one there, and then I traded the bounce here. So ended up doing pretty much what we thought, maybe not exactly the way I pictured it in my mind, but it did in fact go for a short play, then a bounce off this 342 level. Now we're running up today. Now Netflix does have earnings coming up in after hours, all right? So whenever a stock has earnings coming up like the same day, every once in a while they can trade pretty awkward. So I'm still watching Netflix because the market gapped up so much, Netflix gapped up so much. We just came off a really big downward move. It's possible there's still some short traders that have been swing short that might still get squeezed out. It's possible. So really just following Netflix today for long. See if we continue trending and picking up in this fashion. If we don't and it pulls back and then it starts to chop around, then I'll probably just leave it alone for the day because, as I said, the day of earnings, sometimes stocks can just trade really odd and they just don't have really good formation and never really form into anything great and they're just choppy. So if I get that sense or I get that feeling that that's what Netflix is doing, then I'm just going to leave it alone. All right. So I mean, pre-market high here, Netflix is at 356. Really doesn't have all that much of a pre-market support. It had this big drastic sell-off. It had a nice bounce. So probably what I would do is watch for an early morning wash down and then follow by a dip long. All right, last one, JNJ. Well, at least for me. All right, so last one here is JNJ. JNJ had earnings. They raised their 2019 guidance, which is usually seen as a good thing. Stock is gapping up. So really going to follow JNJ long until it states otherwise. It doesn't have a whole lot of volume this morning right now. That's okay. Hopefully it picks up in volume and hopefully it still has some pretty good moves. The only thing that concerns me with J&J is this, long consolidational top we had here around 140, 139. We ran right into that. We're pulling back off of it. So I'm hoping that we just kind of pull back a little bit and then we kind of press back up towards these highs. And even break, with the way it's moving this morning in terms of volume, I'd be pretty surprised if J&J actually breaks over the 140 mark, but still worth watching considering it's a pretty good earnings report so far. Other than that, those are the three stocks I'm watching. Basically, 2 earnings reports and one going into earnings report tomorrow, okay? PMRW doesn't look bad. Is that the name of it? Yeah, PMRW doesn't look bad. Hit highs of like 20-something, pulled back, been consolidating. And the way it looks is it actually looks like it might be coming out of consolidation. But it's not a heavily traded stock in regards to volume, so you really don't want to day trade it, or at least day trade with heavy size. And if you do day trade, you're going to be going for a day-long swing trade, right? You're going to be swinging long on the day if you're day trading that, or you should be swing trading PMRW. But it doesn't look bad. It actually looks pretty good. Okay. Sure, I'll take a look at KMDA. Haven't heard of that one. Oh, a little pre-market gap up. Does it have news? It does have news. FDA. All right, so they got some news about the FDA accepting something from them, so not bad. Gapping up a little bit. All right, stock doesn't typically trade all that much volume. The only reason it's trading volume today is the news that came in on it. It could keep moving. It could, but I'm going to go with it's probably not going to trade all that great. I think it's worth watching, right? If you know the company, then great. I don't know much about the company. I've never followed this stock, and I've never actually traded it. But from what I can see, it doesn't trade all that much volume. Hold on one second. Need to pull something up. One second. All right, so KMDA doesn't have a big short float. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about it. Nobody's really talking about it right now. Actually, yeah, on StockTwits, a lot of people are talking about it right now. But volume's 130,000 on the day. I mean, yeah, you could watch it. I personally won't trade it. I don't think much is going to happen there. It could be great long term, but in the day perspective, I don't see a whole lot. You guys, I don't really follow you guys, so I couldn't give you too much insight there, personally. But if you're going to trade you guys, just make sure to follow the futures market for natural gas. Tesla. So Tesla's doing exactly kind of what we mentioned, I think, the other day when we were online. It's just trading within its channel right now. So that's basically, so like from the gap down day, like when it gapped down pretty big here, right, this gap down day, it's just trading within this back and forth channel. So the way you go about trading this is just picking the lows and shorting highs, even though there's really, most people don't have shares of short on this from Thinkorswim, and if you do, you're lucky. But if you're using someone like TradeZero or Lightspeed or Interactive Brokers, then you can probably get shares of short on the stock. Again, I'm not really concerned with shorting Tesla, so I don't really mind myself. So whenever I trade Tesla, it's only long bias, and it's just trading back and forth in a channel. Let me go to the past 20 days. So it's trading back and forth this channel, right, from 260 to 280, right? So you want to pick bottoms of the channel, and when you're in the middle, you just want to kind of leave it alone, because when you're in the middle of the channel, it becomes more choppy, right? So it's like at the highs, it's pretty obvious short. When you're in the bottom of the channel, you can get long, right? So we actually took Tesla long yesterday at like 260, and then it did a shakeout. Market maker shook out below 260, took it and ran with it after it dropped out to 258. So for me personally, it's kind of in the middle of the channel. So I'd watch for an early morning drop down into yesterday's mid-trading day, midway, maybe to 263, something like that, then watch it for a reversal long. PRPO, I want to say probably not, but you never know. You never know. 45 cents. Yeah, I don't trade sub-penny stocks, but that's just me. And let's see where it's at. Yeah, it actually has a really good setup. This is actually a clean setup with PRPO. I probably won't trade it myself, but the setup is clean. Like this is a clean setup. Does this mean this is going to run? No, absolutely not. And then secondly, you have your 200 moving average here at 45. So what's the price of it at right now? Are we over 45? Did we even get over 45 is the question. No, yes, we did, but briefly. So you can see that PRPO is struggling all around this 48, 46, 45 level, and that's due to its 200-day moving average coming down right on top of that price action right there at, like 40, is that 43? Oh, it's actually 43. Oh, so yeah, PRPO did in fact get over the 200 moving average, but it might be the 200 SMA that it's struggling. So I guess we could check that real fast. Hold on. Nope. Yeah, it's over that 200 SMA. Held 200 SMA, but soon to run into the EMA. So yeah, I don't know. That's the thing, is that we're right on that 200 SMA. So what I would actually do is probably mark off. What do we say? 43. Yeah, it's right around price actions below 43 now. That's kind of it. Your key level on the day is going to be 43. If PRPO can get back up and over 43, hold 43, then it might be good. But if it continues to fade off below 43, probably nada. Let me go back and take this SMA off because I don't want it there. ICPT for a swing. I'm assuming long, so we'll go on the idea of long. ICPT. Swing long, $91 stock, and yeah, not a bad one. Potentially, yeah, I'd watch that long. Just did its gap fill here from last earnings, so you got down to, yeah, that's a good long trade most likely. I would try and snag it a little bit lower, close to 89, but it depends on what it did over the past couple days. Still fading down. Right now, it's still predominantly downtrending. Has not had any type of bullish sentiment up. That's what I would wait for. I wait for it to keep trailing off until you get some type of bullish move. There's been no bullish move. So right now prices could still decrease, right? So you just want to let them decrease till you feel you're getting bullish sentiment. Though it may look like it's a good buy, you got to wait till people actually want to buy, kind of thing, right? So not bad. I kind of like that. ACB. So yeah, ACB still doing exactly, and well, just kind of, it's still in the same thing. Nothing much has changed. So ACB almost filled. I want to say it's arguable that it did or did not, but like there's this little gap here you can see from a while back, kind of gapped. We pulled back here. We almost filled the gap. We actually didn't. We still left like 10 cents on the gap, which isn't a lot, but yeah, I would wait for ACB at this point, right? We failed this little mini inverse head and shoulder formation here in this right there where I'm circling. So we're pulling back down. We're at the 50 moving average. I would wait, see if you can even get it down. You may not, but the $8 level seems to be a pretty good buy zone for ACB because we curled up and broke out there, right? Look at, you curled up here, you broke out, and that's where all the buyers are at. That's where they all came in. That's where the new set of buyers came in regards to this move. So as we trail back down and we enter into that same level, we should see some buyers come in around that $8, even in the 7s, right? 7s to 8s, great buy, I think, on ACB. GE, I mean, I'm not going to trade GE. I won't buy GE, at least not yet or not right now. Yeah, I mean, I've been over I'm sorry, but I've been over GE like a quadrillion, jillion, thousand times. I can't do it anymore. I just can't. I'm sorry. Cron, most weed stocks are kind of settling or fading right now, which means they're probably getting close to a good buy. Cron, actually, I'm glad you mentioned it because I haven't looked at Cron for 2 days now, and it's breaking down more. And where are we at? Yeah, 13. Probably buy Cron soon as it gets to that 13 level. Got the 200 moving average coming up here at 1370. And we just kind of had a breakout. No, we didn't. That's a lie. But you get what I'm saying, right? We have all these tops here. Okay, all the topping formations. Let me just put a drawing on the screen so you aren't just looking at nothing and hear me blobber on, right? So here we go. Going down, 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 boom, right there. That's where you have your breakout. That's where buyers kind of start to step in, kind of top. So anywhere from really that 13 down to 12 seems pretty good. Now, in theory, oh wait, no, that gap was filled. Never mind. So yeah, 13. I think that's soon to be kind of a buy soon. Yeah, I actually like that. So I'll be following that shortly or closely now. What about CGC? Because CGC has been getting hit pretty good. I don't really like CDC. CDC hasn't really decreased in a manner that I like. Nah. No, I don't hardly mess with crypto. I know. Crypto's picking back up and Bitcoin's over 5,000 and the world is going to change. But Bitcoin is not your answer. It's really not. Because Bitcoin is not, it's not the best of the cryptos. It's really not. I mean, for some reason, I would say that the reason Bitcoin is still treated as the almighty one is just because it's the most popular in regards to branding. It's like it's like Gucci, or it's like, Michael Kors, or it's like the big brand name of cryptocurrency. Yet it still sucks. Get it? Just like Gucci and Louis, like really they're just overly priced when a TJ Maxx t-shirt can do just fine, right? So realistically thinking, now there's nothing against anybody who loves to buy expensive clothes. By all means, do whatever you want with your money, right? But in regards to cryptocurrency, Bitcoin is like the big brand name cryptocurrency, but yet it's one of the slowest out of the cryptocurrencies. Ripple is actually like one of the fastest of the cryptocurrencies. So logically speaking, in the world of cryptocurrency and its purpose and what it's supposed to do for us in the future, Bitcoin would not logically be the one to fulfill that, that future goal, right? It's not the cryptocurrency, but it's just been branded. It's the name Bitcoin, and everybody knows cryptocurrency as Bitcoin. So, and again, I don't know as much as many other guys do on cryptocurrency, but from what my understanding and everything I've learned, Bitcoin really isn't the one. It's actually Ripple, or probably some other one that I don't know about yet. Yeah, Albert, I'll just say this right now. With RNN, you could possibly look for a gap fill up to about 11 to 1147. That would be the gap fill today on that stock. It already went from like 4, maybe 5 up to 9, 10 last time I checked. So you could watch it. Had a nice pre-market move. I myself probably not going to trade it though. NIO, it could be. I don't know enough about the company. I know they have a lot of outstanding shares. We all know the electric vehicle car business is extremely competitive. It's very hard. So it might be, but I don't know enough about the company. I mean, like I could say, yeah, buy it, but I don't know anything. I really know nothing when it comes to that company. I don't know what their sales are. I don't know what their production for their vehicles look like. I don't even know what their cars look like. Do they look good? Do they look ugly? I know nothing when it comes to NIO, other than the fact that when I last traded it, it was at a great support system, what it appeared to be, and it snapped that support system with authority and kept trailing off. So until it shows bullish signs, I the heck with it kind of thing. But so Moses, right? You're saying that is the ultimate pump and dump, right? But what is a pump and dump? A pump and dump is not when prices go up and prices come down. That is not a pump and dump. If that is the narrative that you believe is a pump and dump, not to be a jerk, then it's false, okay? That would be inaccurate. But if you're stating that Ripple is a pump and dump because there is constant email blasting, advertisements, newsletters, and cold calls trying to get people to buy Ripple, then yes, it is a pump and dump. You'd be accurate. But again, I don't trade crypto. So yeah, indicators do work depending on how you use them. Right, I'll show you right here. So like here's one. Most people just don't use indicators in the right fashion. you have to understand the basics of an indicator, but then you have to dive, like RSI oversold and MACD where it's crossing. Like, yeah, like those can be indications, but they're all a little bit lagging. The only true way that I use RSI or I'll use MACD, like I understand the basics, right? It's the concept is oversold and trend changing, right? But really, RSI and MACD are best used for divergence. Other than that, I would just care less. So WTW. So like here's a divergence, right? You can see WTW going up yesterday. WTW pulls back. WTW is going up, right? But as WTW is going up, there is, there's a slight divergence here. It's bouncing, right? But you're creating a higher low on this divergence. And this wasn't even the best one because in reality, you should be, it's this one. Excuse me. I need it on a 1 minute chart. That's my mistake. Here we go. That makes sense right there. Okay. So let me zoom out. Here we are. All right. So here it is. Divergence, right? So WTW price increase. It drops, it starts to bounce as it's going up, but as you can see, the momentum's drastically dying out. So right, as WTW is trying to, let me put a trend line here. God damn it, it's taking forever. Just trying to explain a simple concept, but damn drawing. So here you go. All right, like price is trying to trend up. We jump, we come down, we're trying to bounce, but as we're trying to bounce, you can see the momentum's just dying off dramatically. So your prices, the price of a stock cannot continue to increase as your momentum is drastically dying out. So divergence right there. Patrick, yep, we live trade in our group. Just because we live trade does not mean you're going to make money. Just because we live trade does not mean you'll be able to follow the same trades I take. Just because I make money in the room does not mean you're going to make money in the room. Live trading is there for you to really learn what it's like to see trading, put in stops, execute orders, and practice, right? That's what you're practicing. And then if you feel comfortable with that, then you should start taking our trades. See, the problem is most people feel that live trading is their easy way out to making money really fast by following someone who can do it, when in reality, you should get in the room, watch a trader, see how they do it, and if you can grasp it, right, and it works for you, then start to trade, some of those live call outs, because if you just come in and try and do it, you'll most likely fail. And I'm just being honest with you. I'm not trying to have any one of you guys or anybody in general just purchase into any one of our programs or services, thinking something other than what they're really going to get. And what you're going to get is you're going to get a live trading room and you're going to see live call outs and see live trading. But just because we're there doing it live doesn't mean you're going to make money doing it. It still takes a lot of practice. And there's all big emotional hurdles and things like that. You can't really see it. Camera's behind there. But I'll do a video one of these days of the setup I have. All right, guys, it's 9 o'clock. I got to get back. I got to get back to my trading room. I got to get back to our private group and our private members. So thank you guys once again for tuning in, as always. And we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Everybody, take care.